Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Saturday night? Hope y'all doing well. Football weekend, you got college going on and everything else. But before we get started in this episode, I'll let Cool Beans do a shout out to our listeners.
Yes, we'd like to thank all those that come to listen to in our on our lives. We appreciate y'all coming in. Those that like to watch the replay, we appreciate y'all coming. And as well for our audio, when we do our audio shows, we have our listeners that are in Brussels, Belgium. Uh, Grinzak Weilen, I almost forgot to pronounce that
Hey,
right.
you're doing good with that.
Grinzak Weilen, Germany. We got Ashburn, Virginia, San Jose, California, and Boardman, Oregon. We thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, thanks everybody for listening. We got a lot of football to talk from the day and NFL games and NFL news going on. But before we do, we'll get into the women's NBA down to the last three games. Three teams fighting for that last spot. Washington's in that eight spot, Cool Beans.
Yeah, Washington got out. What you call it? Just like we thought. Once we heard that Angel Reese was out, we said that the Sky will be losing an eight spot. They did. They're currently in nine, and the Mystics is at the eight. But they still also have. They can't sleep. Neither one of those teams can sleep because we still got the Dream right behind them trying to get in.
That's it. I'll go over some scores the last couple of nights. You had Thursday night, you had one game. That's Liberty and the Wings. Liberty won 99-67. Then we'll get to Friday night. You had a few games going on Friday night. You had the Mystics and the Dream playing. The Dream could have helped themselves, but they didn't. The Mystics beat them 72-69. You had Gray with 17 points, 10 boards. You had Sykes with Washington that had 20 points. And then that's where they flipped. That's where Mystics, I think, gained that eight spot that night, Friday night. Then you
Yeah,
had Aces and the Fever. Indiana lost to the Aces, but both of these teams are in the playoffs. And Clark had 8 points, 8 boards, 9 assists. And Seagray for the Aces had 21 points, 6 assists. And also with that, Caitlin Clark set the rookie record for assists that night.
right. Well, that one thing she can't be doing, Caitlin. They're not gonna win games if she only putting up 8 points.
No, I think she had, I think 18 points. That's what she,
Oh, I thought you said eight.
18 points, 8 boards, and 9 assists.
Right. I heard eight, 8, and 9. I was like, you ain't gonna win with no 8 points.
But, and then you had the Storm beating the Wings 83-81. You had Diggins. She had 21 points, 4 steals, and McCowan for the Wings had 23 points, 15 boards. The Sky and the Lynx played, and the Sky just got destroyed by the Lynx, 83-66. C. Williams for the Lynx had 14 points, 10 assists. Cardarso had 16 points, 10 boards, and 3 blocks for the Sky. And then the Suns played the Mercury, and the Suns won 88-69. Jones for the Sun had 20 points, 9 boards, and Griner for Phoenix had 26 points and 9 boards, and that was from Friday night. And nothing going on today, but tomorrow there's a slate of games going on. You've got the Wings and the Fever playing at 3 p.m. You got the Lynx and the Liberty. That should be a good one. Lynx is 28-9. Liberty is 31-6. Those two teams are in the playoffs. And here's a big key right here. 3 o'clock p.m. You've got the Dream and the Mystics are playing each other. So, That's playoff implications there. Mystics hold that 8 spot right now. And then Mercury at 6 o'clock is playing the Sky. The Suns and the Aces at 6. The Sparks and the Storm at 6 p.m.
Right. The Sky need to hold off the Mercury, and just for them to stay relevant and stay in that race. Now the Dream, if the Dream don't win tomorrow, I think the Dream is out of it because I remember we was talking earlier before we got on air. It was like I think the Dream need to win out,
Yeah,
and their Dream need help because they need the other teams to lose out.
yeah, they do. And as I bring up that standings right now, I'm looking at them right here. You've got, like I said, the 8 spot right now is the Washington Mystics, and then you got they're tied with Chicago Sky right now.
Right? Yeah.
Um, so they're both 13 and 24, and Washington holds the tiebreaker. And then you got Atlanta Dream, who are a game behind. So if Mystics beats the Dream tomorrow, the Dream are done.
Yep.
So that'll put them 2 games out with 2 games left. It'll be hard for. I mean, they would even if they tie, Washington would have the tiebreaker.
Right. And
So
the Sky, I think they're done. And the only reason why I think they're done is yeah, they might win their next 2 games, but they're definitely not winning their last. They play the
the
Connecticut
Sun,
Suns
yep.
unless the Suns sit all their starters because the Suns are already in.
Oh yeah, I mean they're in the 3rd seed right now.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean, the only thing they could do if something happens, Lynx loses or something to tie for second or gain second, but that ain't going to be no real big deal when it comes down to it. Um,
exactly.
so it's getting ready to wrap up. Coming up with women's NBA here. I think on the 19th are the last games.
Yep. And the
Um,
thing about the Fever are now 19 and 19. However, if the Fever can win these last 2 games and be 21 and 19, that would be better. Or even if they split 20 and 20,
yeah,
which is not really good, but I mean, it's better
that.
than 19 and 21.
But you got to think too. They had a slow start to the season.
Hmm.
Um, the Fever did, and then they started kicking it on, especially after the All Star break. They started rolling. Thursday will be the last slate of games, and that'll be which probably by tomorrow or Monday. I think it is. I think there's
Yeah,
some
we should
games.
know who's in that last spot.
Yeah, let's see. Sunday, no games Monday, games Tuesday. So if we don't know by tomorrow, if it's not wrapped up, definitely by Tuesday it'll be sewed up. Who's got that 8 seed? So it's a big pivotal game. Now, if the Dream win, then it's still up for all 3 of them.
Hmm.
Um, but we'll see what happens. Because let's see, uh, the Sky don't play tomorrow.
No, I think
They play.
Tuesday that would be, huh?
Yep, they play. Uh, Chicago, right there they are. Chicago, they play Tuesday. They play Atlanta, and they don't play. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they do. They play tomorrow. I'm wrong. They play Phoenix tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. They play the Mercury. That's right. We
Yeah,
went over that. Because
yeah.
I was about
So
to say they're gonna have a game Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday then, because they
yeah,
have 3 games left.
yeah. They play tomorrow. I overlooked it there. Yeah, they play Phoenix, which that's probably a loss for them.
Yeah.
So
Phoenix is already in too. They're locked in at that number 7. So
yeah, the Phoenix they're locked in there. So some of these teams may start playing their bench a little more.
hmm
But we'll see what happens with these last few games.
the part I hated about what because the Fever played back to back games with Las Vegas Aces, and they lost both those games. But my thing is, I was sitting there thinking the the Aces they're the 4th seed now. Technically, with Caitlin and them being the 6th seed, they're gonna have to pay the 3rd seed, which would right now would be the Suns.
Yeah,
And I mean, like they right now they're showing that against a better team, they just can't hang.
Yeah, and then too, you got to think that's only the best out of three, if I'm not mistaken, in the playoffs.
Yeah, first
First,
round is the best out
best
of
out of
three,
three, and then they go
and
best out of five
yeah.
after that. So it's going to be a little task for them if once the playoffs roll around.
Hmm.
Is all you got right now for women's NBA?
That's all I had on women's NBA. I seen something yesterday, but I didn't save it. It was about something about Aaron Judge, and it was on Instagram, and then I couldn't find it, and I don't even remember what it said. But I was like, ooh, because at first I was gonna put it on the Facebook, tweet it on the Facebook, but then I didn't. I didn't save it, and I said I can go back and do it, and I never did get back in. It might have been something that was untrue, because like I said, I was on IG, and usually IG, I have to verify that, and I couldn't find it anymore. So,
Well, I got baseball brought up right now. We'll go over some scores there in Major League Baseball from the day. You've got the Red Sox finals today. You got the Boston Red Sox beating the Yankees 7-1 in New York.
ooh,
You got the Royals beating the Pirates 5-1.
hmm,
The Blue Jays beat the Cardinals in Toronto 7-2. Nationals beat the Marlins 4-1 in DC. You got the Phillies beating the Mets, which that'll help the Braves out there. The Phillies beat the Mets 6-4. The Orioles beat the Tigers 4-2 in Detroit. The Guardians beat Tampa Bay Rays 6-1 in Cleveland. And then the game that's still going on right now, and this is a big one right here. The Braves are leading the Dodgers in Atlanta 6-1 in the bottom of the sixth. That's a big must win for the Braves. Um, the Reds beat the Twins 10-1, or beating the Twins 10-1 in the bottom of the seventh. In Chicago, it's in the top of the seventh. Athletics 3, White Sox 3. In Colorado, the Cubs are leading the Rockies 2-0 in the top of the fifth. It's the top of the fourth in Arizona, where the Brewers are pounding the Diamondbacks 8-0 in the top of the fourth.
ooh. It's just
Um,
the top of the fourth, and they're already up 8-0.
8-0 there, and then you've got starting out west in San Francisco. They're in the mid of the first. Padres 1, the Giants 0. And then you got two games that's getting ready to start here at 9, here in about a half hour. Astros are at Los Angeles Angels, and then the Rangers are at Seattle Mariners. Going to the standings here as we get down in the last couple of weeks of baseball. It's starting to, the Yankees are starting to pull away a little bit on the Orioles. They hold a 2-game lead over Baltimore for the league division. Guardians still hold a 3-game lead on the Royals. Houston's still 4.5 up on the Mariners out west. And then in the National League, right now, the Mets lost today. If the Braves win this right now, they'll end up tied for second with 8 games out of first place behind the Phillies. So really, right now, only thing that the Braves can hope for is probably most likely the wild card.
Right.
Because I mean, you're down to 2 weeks left or 8 games out, so the division's going to be pretty tough to win. So they need to shoot for that wild card. In the Central, Brewers are 10 games up on the Cubs, and Dodgers are 4.5 games up on the Padres. But if the Padres, if Dodgers lose tonight and the Padres win, then that'll be 4 games out. The wild card looks as this as of right now. Um, in the American League, like I said, you got 3 wild card spots. Baltimore is leading the first spot by 5 games. Kansas City Royals are the second spot by 3 games. And the Minnesota right now holds that third spot, and Detroit Tigers are 3 games back of that last wild card spot. And then in the National League right now, the Padres, it's a little closer for these wild card spots. San Diego holds a 2 game lead for the first wild card. Arizona Diamondbacks has got a game and a half lead for the second spot. And then the Mets has got that third spot, and the Braves are just a half a game behind them for the last wild card spot. So that's going to be a tight race for those 4 teams right now,
Right.
because it only separates them by 2.5 games from the Braves to San Diego. So it's going to be something to watch with that. And even with even American League, the Minnesota's, there's some 3 game lead there. It's Detroit Tigers is going to have to start bringing it up to try to catch that last spot. So stat wise, see how here we are. Aaron Judd is still in second place behind Bobby Wilt Jr. for the batting average. Witt, and he's batting 333 for Kansas City, and then Aaron Judd is batting 321. Aaron's still leading the majors with 52 home runs. Otani's got 47. And then it's not even close with the RBIs. Aaron Judd's got 130 RBIs. And Ramirez is the next one close at 107. So, and then stolen bases. Eli De La Cruz for Cincinnati's got 64. Otani's got 48 stolen bases. So that's something to keep an eye on. To be the only player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a season. But that's the rundown as of right now for Major League Baseball. You got anything else on it before we?
Nah. I'm surprised when you said earlier when you was talking about it, you said that it's got just 2 more weeks. I'm like, wow, it's 2 more weeks before we start the playoffs.
Yeah, it should be. What's today's date? Today is the 14th.
14th, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking. Let me get to their schedule here. Let me go back. Let's see when the last regular season game is, because usually October starts the playoffs. So let's see where we at here.
Yeah, because the World Series should be what, the first or second week? Well, about the second week of November, because that's the night. That's the game. We don't have no Sunday night football.
Usually, well, just depending on how. Let's see. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay. All right. The last day of slated games is Sunday, September 29th.
Okay.
That's the last day of games for the regular season. So that is what that's 2 weeks.
Yep.
So you're looking at 2 weeks, and then September 30th, Monday, September 30th, starts the wild card. And then, well, hold on, let me tell you, I'm telling you wrong. Monday, September 30th, no games are going to be scheduled.
Okay.
Tuesday, October 1st starts the wild card game, and you got the wild card games on Wednesday, October 2nd. And then it'll just go from there, depending on they'll have games on Thursday and October 3rd. No games on schedule for October 4th, but Saturday, October 5th, there'll be some games scheduled depending on who all wins what. And that starts Saturday, October 5th, will start the divisional rounds, I think. Yeah, divisional
Okay.
rounds. So So that's where we're at with baseball. It's wrapping up down the last 2 weeks. This baseball season has flew by. The summer's flown by. We're starting in the fall, and here we are.
Yeah, it's flew by all right because now it's like when you look outside about 5, 6 o'clock. Normally, it still used to be bright and everything. It's starting to get dark.
Yeah, it is. Right now, it's pitch black right now.
Yep.
But here we are, some college football. And before we get into the scores for the um, top 25 and some of our picks will not finish until after this episode.
Yep.
But my Mountaineers blew it. No surprise. They lost there the last second by Pitt. It's a backyard brawl. It's a big game, no matter what.
Right. Yeah.
West Virginia was up by 10 with like 6 minutes left, and they just blew it. That's all there is to it. And thing is, it's just they had opportunities, missed opportunities. You had penalties early in the first quarter. West Virginia had an opportunity for a pick six, probably go 90 yards, dropped it. I mean, you got to capitalize on stuff like that. Um,
Yep.
but they lost. Well, here's some scores right now. It was the top 25. Miami beat Ball State 62-0. Me and you both picked Miami on that. Here was a one that you and I missed, and then I'll tell you why we missed it. The only reason I think we could have missed it. Alabama's beat Wisconsin 42-10.
Yeah. We thought it was time for an upset. I'm a
Well,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin lost their quarterback in the first quarter. He went out.
Oh.
But I'm going to tell you this: Alabama's tough. They look good. Um, the quarterback, Milroe for Alabama, he had 196 yards, 3 touchdowns. Then he had 14 carries for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. This dude he's good. He's legit. He's the real deal. He's going to be playing in the NFL someday. He's a big guy.
Right.
He looks like well, he's like a Cam Newton. He's built like a Cam Newton.
Right. Okay. So there's really no drop off since I thought that since there was going to be no Nick Saban, there's going to be a drop off. I thought that Alabama was rated too high. It's still because it's still an Alabama team. But then I
Yeah.
was looking at Nick Saban ain't there. They probably should be around 18, 19, or maybe in the 20s. But I guess they showed me wrong.
Well, when their quarterback he went down in the first quarter, that was any hopes as far as their offense goes. So he went down. That was any hopes for Wisconsin. Then we had Missouri and Boston College. Missouri pulled it off 27-21. Boston College took that game. Me and you both picked the Mizzou on that.
Yeah.
Um, Oregon beat Oregon State 49-14.
My Ducks. I
You're,
picked the Ducks.
you picked the Ducks, and I picked Oregon State. Um, and Utah beat Utah State 38-21. So we both picked Utah State.
Yeah, we was going for the upset on that one too, but
So, and if I'm not mistaken, let me see here. Is it Utah? I think Utah, they got a backup quarterback in. I think their starting quarterback is out, if I'm not mistaken. But Utah's going to lose some games. They're going to lose some. But then we go with Oklahoma State. They beat Tulsa 45-10. Me and you both pick Oklahoma State. And then Oklahoma struggled with Tulane. I mean, they ended up beating them 34-19, but Tulane made that a game. We both picked Oklahoma on that. And here's where I got you on this game here. I'm pretty sure. If I can find it. You got LSU and South Carolina.
I
L-
think I took South Carolina.
you took South Carolina, and LSU won 36-33. South Carolina had a shot. They missed a field goal to tie it at the end to send it into overtime. I picked LSU on that. You picked South Carolina.
Yep.
You got Arkansas State and Michigan. Michigan beat them 28-18. We both had Michigan on that. And Notre Dame beat Purdue 66-7. You got me on that because I went with my alma mater, Purdue. Purdue forgot to show up. They didn't know they had a game.
Right.
Kansas State beat Arizona. I loved that. I loved that so much. 31-7. Um,
I think I went with K State.
yeah, you went with K State on that. And the funny thing was, like I said, there's a on Facebook. There's a Big 12 smash trash talk or something like that.
Mm.
Arizona fans was complaining because everybody was rooting for Kansas State. Them them newbies that just came in to the Big 12 have ran their mouth that all the prior Big 12 members are not going to root for none of them because they've talked so much trash since they came into the league. So they ain't gonna get no support from the previous teams in there from the fan base.
Right.
Right now, playing right now. Start of the fourth quarter, you got Ole Miss 30, Wake Forest 6. I think we could probably chalk that one up. We both went with
Yeah.
Ole Miss. Then you've got Texas and UTSA, and Texas is winning 42-7. We both had Texas on that one. Man, listen to this score. You ready?
Okay.
After I get off this podcast, I'm going to have to watch the second half of this. Go Wildcats, go! Georgia is getting beat by Kentucky 6-3.
Wow.
There's only been 3 field goals in this ball game. Go Kentucky, go! They're going to knock off Georgia, hopefully.
Yeah, but
But
I think we both picked Georgia.
we did. We both picked Georgia.
Yeah.
But I like upsets. I love seeing upsets.
Yeah.
Right now, you got in the third quarter, they just started the second half. Nebraska 21, Northern Iowa 3. We both had Nebraska on that. I'd say that's we should have that one there. We'll see what happens though. Right now, Tennessee. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes left in the second quarter. It is 58-0 over Kent State. Tennessee put up 37 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's like that is crazy.
I'd be putting my third string in the second half, second and third string. Yeah, y'all starters are done.
Yep.
Especially offense. Miami, which I already said that, didn't I? But yeah, Miami beat Ball State 62. So that's what we got
Yeah.
going on right now. And let me get to the Big 12 picks. Get this brought up because we got some of them. And some of them Big 12 picks will not, and teams start after our podcast is over. So we won't have those results until our Tuesday podcast. Like I said, Pittsburgh beat West Virginia 38-34. As just West Virginia they blew it there at the end. That's all I can say. Right now, you got Air Force and Baylor. Baylor is winning 13-3, and you can gain on me because I took Air Force.
Yeah. When I was looking, I was like,
You
Baylor.
took Baylor. You took Baylor. And right now, halftime, Colorado and Colorado State. You got Colorado. His team's winning 14-3 at halftime. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we both took Colorado State, didn't we?
Oh, I thought we was rolling with Dion.
No, you went. I went Colorado State. You went Colorado. You roll with Dion. So you may get me this week when it comes to these college picks.
Yeah, because I'm behind you in college.
Yeah, TCU and UCF. I'm liking this. Go TCU. They're beating UCF right now. It's the start of the third quarter, 28-7. And you got Rice in Houston. Houston is beating Rice 20-0.
Oh, I picked wrong on that.
Um, let's see who I don't even know who I picked on that one. I
You
picked
were in
Houston.
Houston.
I went Houston.
Uh,
So and then right now it's just the Stars. 5 minutes left in the first quarter of the BYU and Wyoming. BYU's winning that right now 7-0.
Yeah, I picked Brigham Young on that one.
I did too. And then Cincinnati beat Miami, Ohio 27-16. And we both
We
went
both went Cincinnati.
Cincinnati on that. And Texas Tech beat Northern Texas 66-21. We both went Texas Tech. And this is where I got you on this one right here. Arizona State beat Texas State 31-28. You had Texas State, and I had
Yeah.
Arizona State. Which I mean, that Arizona State just barely beat Texas State. And UNLV beat Kansas 23-20, and we both had Kansas on that one.
Yeah, that one was a shock to me. I was like, I don't remember UNLV being a powerhouse
uh,
since the 80s.
our buddy that we work with, Matt Toller, he messaged me today. He said, "I think UNLV will beat Kansas," which I hadn't got to see them play, and the thing was, but they end up beating them. I watched a little bit of that game, but now here's the thing with about the Big 12. Okay, the Big 12 right now is wide open. Even though West Virginia's lost 2 games,
Hmm.
these are non-conference games. The 2 that they've lost. So we're getting ready to get in our big 12 play next week. We play Kansas coming in Morgantown. We're both 1-2. Now this is where West Virginia needs to get it together. They need to get it together. They need us because I mean if they can run the Big 12, I mean they'll be all right. Even though they ain't going to run the Big 12, but if they can start winning some games, Kansas you got to beat, and you have to beat them. But their defense today looked pretty good until the last 6 minutes of the ball game. It's like
Right.
West Virginia stopped the second half. Their offense, Pitt's offense, the second half, the whole second half until the last 6 minutes of the ball game, and that's when you needed them.
Yep. They was probably just happy because they was up and they thought that, won't run the
Well,
timeout.
what always kills West Virginia, and it's been a I don't know, nuisance or a thorn in their side for years. They cannot stop a running quarterback. If you got a running quarterback, I mean, it's just I don't know what it is. I mean, that's all that quarterback started doing. All right, they got to pass because they're down 10 points. Well, he dropped
Mhm.
back. You know what he did? Take off running.
Have running. Yep.
He dropped back, take off running. And and then that's how they got back in it. But so if they can come in here and start winning some games in the Big 12, it should be. I mean, the rest of the schedule. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's tough. I think it's up in the air. Uh, but they got Kansas next week. Oklahoma State on the 5th of October at Oklahoma. That's gonna be a tough game. Oklahoma's always had our number. Hopefully, they keep on winning when we go there. So if we do come out with the win, that'll be good. A good win.
Right.
Then Iowa State, that's in Morgantown on the 12th. Iowa State's ranked. You got K State. That's the game we're going to. So right now, K State's they're ranked 14th. So if they can keep on winning, we'll have 3 games in a row that we play ranked teams in the Big 12. And then after that, there won't be no ranked team after that. So, I mean, if they can come out with the win and everything else, um, I mean, start winning because I mean we finished with Baylor, which we'll beat them. We'll beat Cincinnati. I'm telling you wrong. 4 ranked teams. Well, as of right now, Arizona's ranked. They lost today. They'll probably fall out of the top 25, so they won't be ranked.
Right.
But I'll tell you this: I watched that Kansas State game and the Arizona game, and here's the problem: Kansas State has a running quarterback.
Yeah, they got a
Uh,
running quarterback.
Arizona has a receiver. I don't know if the dude's 6'6" or 6'4". He's going to NFL. I done forgot his last name because I was going to keep an eye on him. The dude's a big. He's a big guy. So that's going to be hard to guard when they play West Virginia. If they don't get no pressure to the quarterback, they got to get pressure because our DBs ain't going to. I mean, they ain't going to jump at that. And
Right.
I like seeing what Arizona did. They threw the ball up to the guy. He's that tall. Backs are short. West Virginia, Neil Brown. I'm not a big Neil Brown fan, in case you didn't know.
I'm
We got a tight end at 6'7", 6'7". Throw the ball up to him. I don't care if you throw the ball to him 15 times a game.
saying.
I mean, they ain't going to out jump him. Throw him the ball. But I mean, they threw him the ball today. I mean, he has some receptions, but I mean, at 6'7", man, dude ain't gonna. I mean, we got to use your head a little bit. I don't care if he gets 2/3 of the passes go to him. You got to stop him.
Exactly.
But that's the key. Two things I see with the Kansas State game. I'm hoping that's an evening night game, so you get to experience how loud it is there at night,
Yeah.
and that will play into a factor against them if it's a night game. The day games, I mean the crowd's loud, but it's just at night where it's quiet, it's louder. Which I mean you don't have all the traffic going around. It's just louder at night. But and then like they finish off with Texas Tech. Hey, I think they'll beat them. UCF at Morgantown, they'll beat them. They'll beat Baylor and Cincinnati. So they could possibly win out their last four games. It's in middle stretch games after Kansas. You got Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Arizona. Those four games are going to be, besides that Penn State game, these are going to be their next four big games in their schedule.
Right.
So they should have won today. They blew it, but I guess that's it right now before with college. So we need to get on to the NFL news.
Yeah. Well, we already did our picks for NFL. Uh, we only got to really talk about Thursday night's game.
Yeah, Thursday night's game, and then we got some news to mention.
Oh yeah, we do have some news.
Got some news going on in the NFL, and we'll get on with Thursday night's game, which I may have messed up on our picks in the division. Well, I know I did now. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to find it. I think I got Miami winning that division. I'd have to find it. I think I got them winning that division. Well, Tua's down. He's out.
Yeah.
So,
The bad part is I think I agreed with you because we didn't know about Buffalo and we swore up and down that Patriots were going to be a bust.
and well, they won week one. We'll see, and they look good. They look good. The defense looked good. We'll see what they continue if they can continue it. Thursday night, the Bills beat the Dolphins 31-10 in Miami. They just couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
So what happened to this Miami defense that's supposed to be so good? They gave up. Let's see. Cook scores. He scored 3 touchdowns in that game. He had one receiving,
And yep, and two
two
rushing.
rushing. I'll bring up the box scores right here. And the thing is, when you're doing that, Josh Allen don't have to throw. See, Josh Allen only threw for 139 yards, one touchdown pass, and that touchdown pass was to Josh Cook. And then Josh Cook ended up 11 carries, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I just couldn't stop him. And then you got, I don't understand Tua. The guy don't learn. You got to get down.
Yeah.
You got to get down. He had the first down. Go ahead and slide. That way, protect yourself. When he went head first, I wasn't smart on his part. So,
No.
and who knows? And even at that, before that, I mean, they wasn't doing nothing.
They weren't. He threw three picks. I
Yep,
think he had 3 picks that
yep.
game.
He was 17 of 25 for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Um, and then Skylar Thompson come in. He was 8 of 14 for 80 yards. But Devon Aiken or Achan, he had 22 carries for 96 yards. That was it. I mean, the running that and he may have has receiving yards. I don't know. Yeah, he had 7 receptions for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. So
Okay.
all their production came from the back, and Tariq Hill and them. They, I mean, that was it. I mean, Tariq Hill had 3 catches for 24 yards. Jalen Wallow 4 catches for 41 yards. But there's trouble in Miami.
Yeah, and I think they screwed up on the Odell lottery because they got Odell and he wasn't playing in this one either.
Nah, he's out. I don't know how long he's out for, but you never know with him though what he's going to do. And the we done made our picks for this coming weekend for tomorrow. And I don't think there's no overseas games, is there?
No, I think we're done with those. Well,
Done.
no, we're not done with it. We got the London game
We got
sometime.
we got a break until they start going over to overseas.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's get back.
Oh, also, but I didn't verify this. It might be true. This is coming from off of IG. They're supposed to be getting Dolphins are supposed to be signing because Tua might be gone for the year.
Yeah.
And it's like I think this is like his third concussion in 3 years. Like every year he has a concussion. They're thinking about bringing in Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Well, there's some other NFL news. The Browns with Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
You've heard about that news, right?
no, I did not.
And to me, I don't see how this can. They had another one come out, file against him from 2020, and I don't see how. To me, I don't see how this can be allowed. This is kind of like double. I mean, he done went through this with so many.
Well, no, see, technically he didn't. He did it. I want to say he did it a smart way, but it was also a stupid way because he paid everybody off, so it never got to court. So it's
Well,
not
it's settled
really
out.
double jeopardy.
Well, it's
Yeah, he
settled. It
settled
was
out of
settled
court.
out. All
Yeah.
right. So that ship was selling then. It's like, okay, where was you at when all this was going on? And it was all over the news.
Hmm.
So you knew it was going on. Why come out now?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Because there was like 10 or 12 that was already involved in the first go around.
Uh huh.
Okay. How come you didn't come out until now? But
Exactly.
but the Browns, according to my family who's from Cleveland, are trying to work up a deal to get Joe Flacco back from the Colts. So they're trying to work up a
Oh.
deal, a trade to get him back to Cleveland.
Yeah, because there's a chance that that if this pans out, if this has any actual fluff to it, he might be sitting out again.
Well, he's already been suspended for. That's what I'm getting at. How can you suspend him again?
That's true. He's already been
Because
suspended for the
he's already,
NFL. He
yeah,
would
he's,
just have his legal troubles, and
yeah,
the NFL can't punish him again. He's already been punished by the NFL.
yeah. And to me, if the NFL punishes him, to me, I think he can go back and sue the NFL because that's kind of like double jeopardy,
Right. Well,
really.
I
Because
didn't get to tell you. I told them at work, but the NFL is punishing him. He has Kadarius Tony now on his team.
hey, he's hurt. He's out hurt. You know that?
Yeah, I know he's hurt. I don't know when he can play, but when he does get to play, he'll be back to dropping them bombs.
See, so now you've got 3 teams with quarterback controversies, and we're just in week 2.
Yeah, that's
You got Miami, you got the Browns, and you got the Packers.
uh-huh.
Okay, and last I seen when we was talking Tuesday, they only had Malik Willis.
Yeah,
Wills.
listen,
That was
yeah.
it. He was the only guy they had on the roster behind him. So, or they, I figure they'll go get somebody or bring somebody up from the practice squad. I don't know what they're doing, but because Love's going to be out for a little bit,
I don't
and
think they have the money. I think that's why they only had two quarterbacks on there. I don't think they had the money because they gave all that. Because even though Aaron Rodgers, what you call it, he left and he went to the Jets. They were talking about some. They still Green Bay still had some money they have to pay him.
yeah, oh, yeah, they got to pay so much of his contract, and
Yeah.
that's why it was the dumbest move ever. Browns make some dumb moves. My family from Cleveland will tell you they just don't make smart moves.
Hmm.
And Packers passed that when they gave Aaron Rodgers all that money, being that old,
Yep.
38, I think he was at the time, because he's
Uh
40
huh.
now. So you gave him all that money at 38 years old, which was crazy
And
to
let him
run,
leave.
to run off your number one receiver. And I'd have kept that receiver, like I said before, and I'd have moved on from him because he didn't care about that organization. He was looking to screw him over anyway. That was his whole plan, his whole idea the whole time.
Yep. And he did do that. And Jordan Love followed right in his footsteps. And I know the reason why Jordan Love did it because me and you've been talking about. I've been telling you about it because the that quarterback cap, which I think will be. I'm not really a fan for salary caps, but I think the cap salary cap on the quarterback would be a good one because they're starting to get too. They're getting crazy numbers. Jordan Love getting that 230 some million is probably the reason why there's only two quarterbacks on that team. And then he gets in there and he gets hurt.
Um, and and then you got all the chaos that's going on in Cincinnati with Jamar Chase.
I know, turned down a
Well,
$140 million contract.
why? Which
Why?
he wanted to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, but it's the same as Jeffries, Justin from Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's the same as his as far as 140 mil, but he only got like 90 mil guaranteed with like 30 mil bonus
Right.
when Justin's was like 110 guaranteed. So that was the deal breaker for him. So they got all chaos going on. They are not going to beat the Chiefs this weekend. They're trash talking already, and they've been trash talking the Chiefs. I'm like, you just lost to New England and Cincinnati, and the Chiefs are just like, all right, it's all right. We ain't getting involved in this. The and they tried to get Rice, the young guy. He said, we let our talking. We'll do our talking on the field. He said, I'm not getting in this. So they got all this chaos. The Bengals are getting ready to start 0-2 in the season. Um,
Yeah, I see that too.
and and then I just see something that popped up, and I was going to mention. I just told you before this. And this is ignorant stuff. This is the NFL. They just trying to get money. It's all it is. But before I touch on that, I seen where Isaiah Pacheco got fined from that game Thursday night that they played in for leading with his helmet. They're finding him. Let me see here. I wrote it down. It was he was getting fined $5,500. And the thing is, they got the video of the run on X, and it was ridiculous. This is stupid. What the NFL is getting to, it is just stupid. Roger Goodell, and it's just the NFL trying to get money. That's all it is.
Right. And here's my thing. With that being said, are they going to do the same to Tua? Because Tua leaned his head down too. Now that was the play he got hurt on though, but he did that. And but the helmet went to the side, so I don't know. But there's still, if you go down with your helmet, it should just be clear. It's just like if when the quarterback's in the pocket, if you hit him in the helmet,
He
I don't
held.
care if it's a hand or something, that's a foul. So
He
if you
had his. It wasn't like he's leading with the crown of his head. He had his head up when he had it down.
right,
So, and then right now, it just came out an hour ago. Um, the Chiefs were fined $100,000 for a sideline altercation involving tight end Peyton Hendershot and the Ravens on September 5th, a source confirmed to ESPN today.
What did he
See,
do? It sound
uh,
like
altercation, I don't know. It's the NFL. They're trying to get money all they can. And I'm just wondering, let me tell you, all these games going overseas, they can't be making money off that because
no.
all right, and for y'all it's listening, and most of our listeners are veterans usually or people still serving, and y'all have been overseas, they've seen these other cultures. These people in these other countries don't they can't afford the prices that we pay here in this country. Okay, for tickets. They just can't do it. It's a total different lifestyles when you get to these other countries. I mean, this country here is probably one of the highest of everything when it comes to it. And I can't see where the NFL's making money off the ticket sales there.
Yeah, I don't think they making enough ticket sales. Now they still making them from the broadcast, but I don't see them making it from ticket sales. In fact, the ticket sales probably go to the stadium. I mean, it goes to the
Even with the broadcast, them games start at 9 o'clock in the morning. How many people's up at 9 in the morning?
That's true.
So they got to be now. You got the people on that side and wherever it's being played at, if it's in Germany or wherever. But I mean, I don't know. All these fines and everything that the NFL is doing now, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
So, but we got like we'll run. I'll run down the games real fast. Tomorrow it's getting ready to start. We're about done with out of this. But now, you got the 49ers and the Vikings, and I mentioned that this here could be a possible trap game for the 49ers. Now, since McCaffrey is on the IR for 4 games, so he's going to be out 3 more games, count this one and 2 others. So this could be a trap game. We'll see what happens. They're playing in Minnesota. And you got Seahawks playing the Patriots. That's going to be an interesting game. That's in New England. The Browns and the Jaguars, and who knows who the Browns are going to be now with Deshaun Watson and everything. The Steelers and the Broncos. I tell you what, I was impressed with the Steelers defense. Um, you got Bo Nix. We'll see if that rookie can handle. I don't know if he can handle that defense. That defense just is too tough. All right, I'll get to watch this game. It's the Bengals and the Chiefs. It's at 4:25. The early games I don't get to watch
Right.
because where we're at the locals channels. It's either the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, or the Panthers. But that's a later game, so I'll get to watch that. Unless it's an early game playing the Bengals, then we'll get to watch it.
Right.
And this is going to be a good game here. I could be wrong, but the Saints and the Cowboys.
It's
But
gonna be a good game. Saints
the,
going down, but
the Saints didn't play nobody either. They played Carolina.
yeah.
So we really didn't get a true look at as far as competition goes. But here again, Cowboys has probably got the second best between Pittsburgh and Cowboys. That's your 2 best defenses. All right, the Buccaneers, the Lions are playing, and you got the Colts and the Packers, the Jets and Titans, Giants, Commanders, Chargers, Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Rams, Cardinals, Bears, Texans, and I can't wait to watch that one.
Oh, I want to see that one. Bears
That's
and
going to be a
Texans.
blowout. That's going to be a blowout. That's not even going to be a game.
That's gonna be a reality check right
Yeah.
there.
And then the Falcons and the Eagles on Monday night. That's what we have. We're running out of time of this episode of Vets Plus Sports. But if anyone out there is thinking about hurting themselves, you can always dial the quick number 988. Or if you want to dial the 800 number, it is 800-273-8255. Or go to your local VA medical center. There's people on staff there 24/7. They can get you in contact with the people you need to, get you the help you need. Always keep in contact with your friends, your battle buddies, those that are serving, the veterans. Just uh, people you know. I mean, reach out. I mean, if you need to talk to somebody, it'll help out a lot. You got anything else, Beans?
I got nothing.
All right, everybody, stay safe. Y'all have a good night and a good weekend. Watch some football and root on your teams. And we'll see you Tuesday morning on our audio. Have a good night.